Hi everybody, welcome to the Deco Stop. I'm Mark.
Every day, it's daily Deco.
Oh, is it daily? Oh, yeah. You know what I mean.
Naughty boy. You're a naughty boy. And I'm Shaun.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's jump straight into to scuba diving news. So the website, again, not a great deal of change on simplyscuba.com, but there is one big change, is that we actually remembered the password to the YouTube site, so we can actually start uploading to YouTube again.
In fact, I believe this is going to be the first... Technically, it's going to be the second video, because we're uploading the We're Back video.
Yeah.
So this is the Tuesday video. So... we're saying, and we've finally got the passwords, and this is going to be the first proper video to go live on there. So you're welcome.
Yeah. We're back. We're just going to, as we've been saying for the past few days, we're just going to sort of get back into the swing of things, uploading videos. So for the next few days, it's going to be us kind of doing these daily decos. And then, as we get to the weekend, something a bit more exciting is going to come. And then in the future, even more. If we jump
Do you want to talk about bits about YouTube? About why we didn't get it straight? I mean, I know we made a joke about the password, and that's... I say it's a joke. It's actually 100% the truth.
Pretty much.
Basically that. Huh?
Pretty much.
Basically, though, it was the administration. The administrators lost everything, didn't they? So, like, the passwords just weren't connecting.
Well, so I had the passwords all the way up until kind of my job offer, when I was sort of given this job, and then like that day, I got a little message that said that your password has changed. And I thought, okay, well that just means that that the new company, Internet Fusion, now has the logins, and they've changed it because that makes sense.
Security, yeah.
And then, like the following day, I got an email from Internet Fusion saying, do you have the passwords? And I was like, no, they changed yesterday. And they were like, we don't have them. So it's like, and there's been this whole back and forth between the administrators and Internet Fusion trying to get hold of the passwords, because everyone denies, no, I didn't touch it last. So who knows? But we managed to get it. So we'll start answering your questions again. There's been a few comments and queries on there for the past 6 months that no one has replied to. So
funny that
we'll slowly sort of crunch through those and get back into the swing of things.
Do you know how we managed to get the password though?
I think we went straight to Google, didn't we?
Yeah, we went Google at google.com. We sent that one an email and was just like, oi,
help,
please, please, because there was the biggest fear me and Mark had was that we would have to start it all over again.
Yeah.
You heard with companies like that, they lose a password to the social, they just can't get it. It's just like, well, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
You just got to start from scratch.
Because you can't just change the email address on a YouTube account channel. It's not quite as easy as that.
We're just lucky that Google at google.com replied back.
Someone checked their emails.
Do you reckon they're do you reckon it's u.tube at youtube.com? Do you reckon that's like the head honcho's email?
I've seen utu.be, which I thought was quite clever. I think that's I can't think of the name of the country. Belgian.
Belgium.
So clever. But we're back.
I know what they're doing. Anyway, we're back. So this is the first proper video where it's aimed at YouTube, Facebook, podcast. Okay, that's the wrong way. YouTube, podcast.
Yeah.
Facebook. Even though, like we were saying, like the Facebook comments and stuff were really, really good, and the fact that we managed to kind of start this type of show on there, and it got viewership, which is really, really good. So we're not going to jeopardise that. We're obviously going to, when I render and format it, it's not going to be a YouTube rip just onto Facebook. I'll obviously customise it for Facebook going forward, which means I have to do more work. Thanks, guys. Thanks for responding. Thanks for giving me more work to do.
What's your job title again, Shaun?
But seriously, though, keep commenting on it. If you watch this show on Facebook, or even if you don't, not religiously, but if you're watching it right now, leave a little comment on there to say how much you love me and you hate Mark, and we can all move on.
Yeah, good luck with that, Shaun.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump straight into the news. So the first one that caught my eye is whether jellyfish could be the new sustainable food stuff. And it's basically, so this was a researcher in Australia, I believe. Okay. And they found that a lot of fish shop sort of fish was literally just kind of named fish because they couldn't 100% sort of tell sort of what it was.
What's that called in England? Is that rock?
Yeah, I think we have, or huss.
Yeah,
one
something
of them.
like that. Where it's just like, it's wet. It smells like fish.
But she was saying how it's so bizarre that if you went to a McDonald's or a fast food chain and it just said meat, you wouldn't just go, oh yeah. Whereas if you just see fish on the menu, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. There's that
Yummy
weird
meat.
kind of disconnect. But yeah, they were actually kind of looking into sustainable sort of fish sources, and and they found that quite a few Asian countries eat this one particular jellyfish, which is called the blue blubber jellyfish. Not the most appetizing of names, I'll grant, but yeah, apparently they it has to go through quite a stringent sort of preparation technique. You can't just grab it, kind of fillet it and so throw it on a barbecue. You kind of have to dry it out and do all this, that, and the other, and then it becomes this like jellyfish pancake, which you can then kind of consume and kind of do whatever you want with. And
now I want pancakes, Mark.
Maybe not these ones once I describe them to you. So so they say that so these jellyfish, they reproduce in the hundreds of thousands, so they are in no way endangered or even close to being of any kind of concern, so they'd be quite good. As far as nutritionally, they have very low calories, very little fat, but decent amount of protein, sort of gram for gram, so actually they're quite a healthy superfood. When you cook them, they basically take on the flavor of whatever you're cooking it in. So yeah, fine. They do say it has an unusual texture, and it's it's simultaneous. It is so this jellyfish meat is simultaneously crunchy and rubbery. So they said it's somewhere in between eating a cucumber and a rubber band. So it's kind of unusual.
Yeah, no.
But she said that some people absolutely love it. So it's one of those kind of Marmite type of things. You either love it or you hate it.
Those people are serial killers, Mark.
So I don't know. Apparently, we're going to be moving on to sort of insect protein in the future because we're just going to run out of protein. Maybe this is a viable sort of contestant, but I do think it does need a bit of a rebranding from blue blubber jellyfish.
All they have to do, though, what they can do is, now this is going to be very. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah,
they can just farm these jellyfish and alter their DNA so then they taste like chocolate or something.
Yeah.
Genetically modified jellyfish.
Yeah, just.
Well, or maybe not the taste, but yeah, obviously the texture.
Yeah, I think the texture.
Cucumber elastic band does not sound appetising.
Yeah, although I never in 100 years would I have sort of imagined that a jellyfish would be crunchy. They just rubber band, I can understand, but crunchy. I suppose.
Oh, you rhyme there.
Yeah, I suppose it's that kind of almost fruit-like sort of crunch as you sort of crunch through it.
Does it sound like an apple when you bite into it?
Don't know. But yeah, that's what we're paying scientists to research.
That's good. That's cool, man. It's interesting. It's nice that you got to take these steps, ain't you?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna run out of food and be like, what do we do?
Yeah, no, nothing else to do.
Cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
There's plenty of humans.
Bit of Soylent
That's what we
Green.
have to do. Get rid of cannibalism.
Moving swiftly on from cannibalism to record-breaking underwater cross. So this is in the Philippines. And they have begun construction of an underwater crucifix, which is set to be 100 meters long. So that's going to be a Guinness World Record when it's completed next year. And they're basically doing it on the flight path into the airport so that people flying in will be able to see this from the air. And
Yeah, but they're going to think like a plane crashed there.
No, it's all to celebrate the Philippines. They've been like a Christian country for like 500 years, so it's a big celebration for them. And
It's going to look like a plane crash there, Mark.
when I visited there, they're actually quite fervently Christian, to the point where some people were like dynamite fishing, and to stop them from like damaging the reefs, they put down statues of the Virgin Mary underwater, but didn't tell them where, so that way the fishermen would go, oh, I don't want to throw dynamite here because I could damage that statue, and that's bad for my karma or whatever Christians have. So yeah, and that's kind of stopped people from using dynamite. So
it works. I mean, it wouldn't work in this country.
No.
What would you have to do in this country? Not that we die. I'm guessing, well, probably some people do throw dynamite.
I don't know, a Greg's logo.
Greg's.
Or
I want pancakes and a sausage roll now. Oh. That's good though. I mean, I understand why they've done it. That's cool. It's nice to have the fact that, you know, it's going to be a reef is pretty dope.
Yeah. No, I reckon a giant concrete PG Tips monkey, that would stop them. Monkey. We've just completely alienated all of our American viewers who have no idea what we're talking about.
So yeah, that's still quite high. When I looked into the stats when we finally logged in, I was like, right, how many Americans are still? Sorry, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. Yeah, how many Americans still watch our channel? And it's like 100 million%.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah. But yeah, back to this cross. So it's going to be made up of, they say broken coral. I presume previously broken coral. I can't imagine they just smash it up.
What they're going to do? They're going to go to the nearest coral reef with sledgehammers.
So no, I think it's made up of previously broken coral, and this is sort of bringing it back to give it something to some kind of structure to hopefully regrow. And yeah, it should be a world record once it's completed. The largest underwater crucifix.
So what we need to do is we need to find somewhere where we can make the largest, like, satanic sign, and then that can take that record. But you add a crucifix in the satanic sign, and you make that bigger.
It will be easy enough just to create the world's largest underwater Simply Scuba dude logo, because I could just get.
Are you going to pollute? You can't pollute. You can't chuck something in the ocean.
I was like, the one
Scuba
time
dude.
I've got a bunch of those key rings. I was like, oh, well, that'll do it.
You're a polluter, mate. That's plastic pollution.
It's a Guinness World Record.
You know what? Yeah, why not? Good old Scuba dude.
Yes. And our final story comes from, where is this? Brevard Zoo. They've released the largest ever sea turtle patient back into the wild. So WFTV, where's that? Brevard County.
What the?
FLA, is that Florida? So a 370-pound loggerhead sea turtle named Perseverance made her return to the ocean on Tuesday after a 3-month stay at the Brevard's Zoo Sea Turtle Healing Centre. So that's quite cool. Perseverance is named...
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt. So they had a sea turtle, they healed it, and they actually put it back in the ocean. They didn't go, oh no, it's got a weak fin. It has to go in our tank.
No. Perseverance is named after NASA's Mars 2020 Perseverance rover.
Cool.
Yeah, okay. Not the fact that she's a tough old sea turtle. No, she's going to be named after some space robot.
Because she should have just been called Tina.
Yes. So 3 months of care and rehabilitation. Perseverance returned to the sea from Cocoa Beach on Friday morning. So yeah, that's quite
awesome.
Nice story.
That is. Like when I briefly I looked at that last night. It came up on my feed. I was like, she looks like she's been through a lot. She looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah, she's seen a few things.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's nice the fact that they're because you always hear every zoo has a marine centre for animals that go back.
Yeah, with
Sigourney. It's nice to have something like that. I think, to actually be put back into nature is awesome. Yeah, name, that's a rubbish name. Or Perseverance is good, but it shouldn't. Yeah, she persevered.
Yeah, she's just called Perseverance. She's not named after anything. It's just Perseverance is a cool
Perseverance,
name.
But no, she's named after a robot drone thing. Whatever. All right, cool. That's cool though. That's cool. So. It's nice to hear that. Is that it? Is that all the stories?
Yeah, they're all the new stories that I could find, stuff that's interesting.
Can I mention one thing before I talk about questions? Obviously, because now we're back on YouTube. So our Friday feature list videos, they are now attached to our sister company, Empora. So go check those guys and girls out, Empora. A link to their YouTube channel will be at the end of this video. Again, if you're watching this on Facebook, that's for YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then you can go check them out. But basically, they're a media hub, so they have stories about anything to do with anything. If it's a sport, they write about it. If it's like an extreme sport, they write about it. And because now, obviously, we're a part of their team, we're a branch of their tree, should we say. We're now working very closely with those guys over at Empora. To help promote their channel, to get other people involved in other sports, but then also as well, I believe Mark, you're going to be writing some bits, and our videos are going to be showing up on their website as well. So yeah, there's a bit of cross promotion. So yeah, check those guys out. As I say, I'll link their YouTube channel at the end of the video. But yeah, go check out their website. That'll be pinned in the comments below. So yeah, go check those guys out. But that's very exciting. So that's going to be our evergreen fun list videos. A bit advicey, but also a bit
fun.
A bit poke the nose. Not that we've ever done that. We've never poked the wasp's nest. We've always been very well behaved.
I'd always kick a hornet's nest with you, Shaun.
Yeah, you tell me to stand there. You'll kick it at me.
Catch this.
What? Hold on. Yeah, you shake it up first. That'd be that. But yeah, no. So that's quite cool. Yeah. So future dealings with them. But yeah, I thought I'd get that in before the questions. So, Mark, are you ready for questions?
Yes.
So I've got 3 here. Yeah. Is that all gravy?
Yeah.
To be fair, we're this 10-minute show is now no longer a 10-minute show than what I planned. So anyway, so the first question is from Christos. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, it says, "Hey guys, I have a question for tomorrow's podcast." Cool. I want your opinion about the new Garmin Mark II Descent. Okay, yeah. So you spoke to me about this, didn't you? So yeah, you want your opinion about the Garmin Descent Mark II. It looks like a combination of a dive watch and a dive computer. But what are the pros and cons? Is it worth the moolah?
So,
Mark, do you want me to take this?
Yeah, go for it.
It tells the time.
Yeah, it'll do that.
And it doesn't have Tetris, so don't buy it. That's my advice. So, there's always been a thing with Garmin, because obviously when the Mark 1 first came out, not our old dive torch, the Garmin Mark 1, people were like, when are you going to get it? When are you going to get it?
Yeah.
So, Mark, the stage is yours.
Yeah. So, the Descent is very different to anything else that we have or have seen, because it's Garmin. They like to just kind of funnel everything that they can into this one machine, whereas all the other diving brands, they make a dive computer that is a dive computer. Garmin makes a smartwatch that can also take you on a scuba dive. So it depends what you want in a dive computer. Will it be a good dive computer? Yeah. I mean, it ticks all of the boxes. It's got Buhlmann's ZHL16C sort of algorithm inside of it with gradient factors, so you can change all the conservatism. It has 2 different versions. It has one which is a bit more like a standard dive computer, the other one which is air integrated. So there's actually a Mark II and then a Mark II i, which is about £200 more expensive. But that means that you can get that wireless air integration. The transmitter itself is not cheap. It's £350 compared to most transmitters, which sit at about £250. But it uses new like proprietary like sonar technology, which boasts up to like 10 meter sort of range, which is impressive. But then when you look at the actual manual, it says always remember to wear it on the same side of your tank as your dive computer, so that it doesn't get any interference.
What?
I don't know, but I think it's a matter of if it's straight line of sight, 10 meters is realistic. But if there's something like a human body in the way, then you might get some interference.
A piece of kelp, just...
Yeah. As far as like scuba diving features, I had a look through all of the specs, and yeah, it ticks all of the boxes. But it also does all of your GPS, it does your heart rate. If you download an app on your phone and kind of sync to that, it'll do your pulse ox and all that kind of stuff. So it's a smartwatch. It connects to your phone. You can do like text messages through it. You can do like online banking and stuff, and like contactless banking through. It's like an Apple smartwatch. You can just kind of do all that. But it also has scuba diving and GPS and all that kind of stuff. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a matter of whether you want something that does absolutely everything, or whether you just want your dive computer. I mean, the first one that doesn't have air integration, that's about £1,200 British pounds. The expensive one is about 1,400 or 1,500 quid. So they're an investment, and it's one of those things of when it works, it's wonderful. But the previous version, if you look at the forums, one of the main complaints was in sort of aftercare, in that Garmin, they kind of like unravel these kind of updates over time, and yeah, it's all sort of very nice and well and good, but then one day they'll just kind of stop. And you just have this, like £1,500 kind of thing, which when it works, it's great, but when it doesn't, So it's that kind of trade-off. I'm sure it looks like a very nice piece of kit.
I mean, can I just say something?
Yeah.
Please.
Of course you
can. The price is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It's good value for money because you have all those other features, but then also it's bad because you have all those other features. If this is going to be your daily watch that's on there, surely the battery's not going to last as long.
Well, let me try and find their statement.
That's the thing, though. And also, the more you use it, the more apps you have running, the more it eats into your data, the more it eats into your battery, which then is going to mean that the battery itself isn't going to last as long, which means you're probably going to have to charge it more. I mean, Garmin know what they're doing. They're a very, very popular brands. You know what I mean? The price does warrant it from the aspect of having everything else attached to it. But my feeling is, why would you spend all that money on basically... all you're doing is you're getting a smartphone or a smartwatch with a scuba diving app.
Yeah.
Whereas you can have a dive computer that you don't, you charge it when it needs to be charged for a dive, and then outside of that, there's nothing else running on it.
I mean, this
That's
will,
my fault.
yeah, this will suit quite a lot of people. It's a very smart piece of kit. As far as the battery, they state the battery in your Garmin device is simply unmatched by other smartwatches.
Yeah. What? 5 minutes.
And yeah, I had a quick look at the specs. I'll see if I can find them. Oh, you can do yoga on it. It shows you different like yoga poses and how to do it on the screen.
I say that's quite good and handy for scuba divers. Every scuba diver should do yoga. It will help with your breathing, your everything, your bendy flexiness.
Yeah. Battery life. So in the specs it says smartwatch. So if you're just using it as a wristwatch, up to 16 days. Now I don't know whether that sort of it changes the brightness of the display or whatever the 16 days is sort of based on, but 16 days. With the GPS switched on, it's up to 48 hours. So that really saps the batteries.
What?
GPS and music, because you can play music from it, up to 15 hours.
There's no point.
Yeah. So max battery GPS mode up to 96 hours. That's what, 4 days or something.
Yeah.
Dive mode, so if you're just taking it scuba diving, that's up to 80 hours. So that's quite a lot of dive time.
Yeah, but that all depends on what you've been doing prior.
Yes.
So if you've had your GPS on, you've been listening to music, you've been taking calls, you've been checking your social,
Yep.
and then you turn all that off, and then you whack it on dive mode, you might not even have enough for a dive.
Yeah, if you connect it to a transmitter, it's up to 32 hours, so that pretty well halves it, or even more. Battery saver watch mode up to 50 days. So it would last like a month and a half on battery saver mode.
That's when you get just a number. You don't know whether it's the date. You don't know whether it's the time.
Yeah.
It's 3.
And I love how vague they are over. So most dive computers, they'll say, oh, we'll save like 100 hours dive time or 100 dives. This one, memory history, is 32 gigabytes. Of course, which means what to me? But all kind of joking aside and literally pulling it apart and dissecting it, it's a very smart sort of piece and kit. It will kind of do everything if you go sort of running and hiking, and then you want to go do a sort of scuba dive. You only need one piece of kit. It does the weather.
The scuba diving industry needs brands like Garmin that crosses everything to make scuba diving more into the mainstream. I mean, scuba diving and dare I say Paddy are doing a really good job in bringing younger people and marine conservationists back into scuba diving or introducing them into scuba diving. So yeah, the scuba diving industry needs a brand like Garmin to do that and to have something like this. But yeah, I think it's early days, man. I wouldn't buy a Mark II. I probably wouldn't even touch it till it was like a Mark IV or 5 when they've actually honed in. But then people bought the Series 1 Apple Watch.
Yeah.
It's probably just how I think. I wouldn't want to spend. This is like the people that are running out to buy the new PlayStation. Like, dude, hold back at least 5 months because you know that those things are going to blow up.
I mean, it does have I think I saw somewhere it does have the new like emergency contact thing, where if it sees that your heart rate suddenly goes funny or does something, then it'll alert something. I swear I read that somewhere, but yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't do that if like you knock the sensor. Oh, you don't. I'm fine. My cat just jumped on me.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Oh, Shaun, you're clinically dead.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just took it off.
Yeah.
Cool. No, but as I say, this is the right step.
Oh yeah.
That the technology has to take for the scuba dive. I know we've been poking fun at it, but the thing is, you got to. You know what I mean? It's new technology. You know, because people will be like, you'll get people that will look at this and go, Garmin, yeah, this is fantastic. I'm going to buy it. But yeah, fundamentally, depending on how you use it. You know, if you're a casual scuba diver, you more hike, cycle, and you do like yoga and stuff like that. Yeah, this is going to be perfect. But yeah, if you're in the water day in day out, I don't know whether this would be the right one for you. Yeah, personally, I guess it all depends on your lifestyle at the end of the day.
Yeah. The one thing that bugs me is that if you want, so there's two different colours. You get it with like a what's it called, like PVD black sort of bezel, or you can get it with a sort of brushed titanium bezel.
Cool.
But those two different models are with air integration and without air integration. So if you want it with integration, but you don't want the kind of the black bezel, you want the silver bezel, you can't.
What?
Yeah.
It's just a bezel.
Yeah, they've
just got.
Yeah, and they changed the colours of the buttons and stuff, but you don't have that wireless air integration, so you kind of have to choose.
Why have they done that? That's very weird.
Yeah, exclusive colours. But the transmitter is permanent pairing as well, which is quite nice.
Okay, cool. All right, so shall we move on?
Yeah, moving on.
Because that one was about 10 minutes about talking about a product that we've never seen.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's cool though. As I said, all jokes aside, it's needed for the industry. You need brands like Garmin to include scuba diving into everyday products like that. So it's definitely a step forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally wouldn't touch it until it's like Mark 5, Mark 6.
Yeah, at least kind of give it a couple months. See.
Oh my god, yeah.
Sort of weed out the bugs, especially for scuba diving, because you don't want to be 30 meters under the water and discover a bug.
Because even when you buy a new range of scuba dive, a new dive watch or dive computer, from like Sinto or Shearwater, even though it's new, it's still got that algorithm, it's still got that pedigree of scuba diving, the lineage of it, so it's a lot safer.
Yeah.
But even then, you still have to, maybe give it a couple of months just to see if there's any software updates and stuff. But,
I mean, my Perdix is a couple years old. It's still getting updates and little bug fixes.
Yeah.
So they're always updating stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is from Serdar Denktas. Oh, I do apologise about that.
Serdar, yeah.
It's on the Apex MTXR regulator video. Is this especially for cold water dives? I've already bought it, but I would generally use them in warm waters. By the way, I have 8 dives with this, and it's wonderful. Yeah. Congratulations. Is that the one that we filmed?
No.
We went up and filmed, and then we couldn't film that. Oh, because we can say that now.
Yeah, we can.
We can, yeah. We remember, guys, when we did that video, we went up to Apex. Yeah,
we actually
basically did. I was halfway through editing it all, and then the big old boss man was just like, "No,
stop,
don't do it." I was like, really?
Yeah,
you spent all that time.
Yeah, like 2 days' work. No, wasted.
So that was literally hundreds, probably maybe grand's worth of.
Yeah.
So don't have to worry about that anymore.
No. So the MTXR comes from the MTX, and you also get the MTXRC. The MTX
is that remote control?
Yeah. It's wireless. So the MTX comes from Apex's military range. The MTX, just the MTX, is the sort of matte black version, which is very cool. But that's only available to the military. So that was designed for grunts. So they wanted the American military required this scuba diving regulator that could dive in extreme cold environments and basically could not be broken or just used incorrectly. So Apex didn't put any twiddly bits on it. They didn't do anything with it, and they made it for extremely cold waters, and they figured, maybe the sort of recreational diving side would like it. So they took the MTX and then they made it the MTXR for recreational. And they made it a different colour. They made it white, but yes, it's specifically designed for very, very cold waters and sort of extreme environments, which is why it's a little bit stiffer. If you breathe it next to like an XTX kind of range, it'll be a little bit stiffer to breathe from. So that's the cold water performance coming through. The MTXRC goes even further because they add the kind of the twiddly knob on the ends, which kind of removes the NEDU rating, but it just makes it a bit more comfortable for recreational divers. But yes, the MTX R is specifically made for cold water diving, but of course it will do warm water just as well.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that answer. I hope that helped out. We've got one more question.
Oh,
and it's actually
the deep philosophical question.
It's where we thought that this is because of this question, the video is going to be about an hour and a half. So I hope you've got enough battery in your camera, Mark. So this is from Wine Nisale, or Weenie Sale. I'm going to just say Weenie Sale.
Yeah.
Weenie Sale, and it was a comment on our community post, our first community post in 6 months, just explaining roughly where we've been, what's happened, and now who owns us. You would have seen it all on Facebook and everything, but yeah, I just popped it in the comments as soon as I got the login for our YouTube channel. That was like, bloop, there we go, stick this in there. And he says, where Mark?
Where indeed? Where Mark?
And I was going to reply at the time, I don't know, in his PJs probably. It's like 7 in the morning.
No, I'm still wearing trousers. I'm actually wearing jeans.
No, don't want to know. No. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. I thought we'd end up there, but yeah. But based on that though, let me quickly, while we're here, you might have heard the old theme tune going up in the background. Because I loaded that up. So yeah, that guy, he was the first one to comment on that post. He says, awesome, glad that you guys are back. And then someone else has replied on that where Mark comments, obviously explaining that, you know, you have your own channel as well. So because we did briefly speak about your channel, Safe Diving, on the Facebook video, obviously this is the first one going live on YouTube. That's true. So I don't know if you wanted to explain what happens or what is happening with that channel. Obviously now you're back at Simply Scuba.
Yeah, it's not really going anywhere, but I won't be adding anything to it neither. It takes a surprising amount of work to run a scuba diving YouTube channel all by yourself. So I'm just going to be focusing purely on 100% sort of Simply Scuba now. So by all means, kind of stay subscribed to it, but there's not going to be any new videos.
Subscribe to it.
Yeah, there's not going to be any new videos. I just don't have the time to upload anything to it. But yeah, you can ask me questions and I'll probably answer them on here. But yeah, that kept me occupied during lockdown, creating my own channel.
Cool, man. And I could probably say this as well. It'll probably be all right. I don't see why it should be an issue. Obviously, you filmed other videos for other scuba diving companies.
I did.
You traitor.
I know, I sold myself
Not
out.
that we existed at that point.
No, that's the thing.
Is there any more of them going live on said channels?
There probably will be. I think there were only about 15 to 20 videos that we did.
Okay.
I don't know if they're all live or not.
So go over there, dislike them. I'm joking, don't do that. Really don't do that. That's the last thing we want to do. We're a community here. We want to, you know, the more advice, the more videos, the more, you know, the more channels there are, the better there is. The more information is, it means that you guys and girls can have safer dives and get the more information, you know. And we're going to be able to do that. So, yeah, again, if you haven't checked it out, it should have just popped up now. Because I can say that because we're back on YouTube. Where the We're Back video, that explains what happened and what will be happening. So if you're unsure about what's going on with this channel and you know what to look forward to, yeah, go check that out. Anyway, I've got a warning on my thing now saying that my video is way too long and it's gonna eat up my data. So
all right, guys,
we're gonna have to end it there.
Yeah, any comments, questions, queries, corrections, whatever, pop it down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.
Thanks for watching. Technically, I shouldn't be saying that because I was going to have a pun a week, but this is the new week on YouTube. So yeah, thanks for watching and continuing it.